What if we could reduce carbon emissions and strengthen the economy? At ExxonMobil, we believe both are possible. As a global leader in carbon capture and storage, we're empowering industries to reduce their emissions, all through technologies that are creating job opportunities in America. How's that for a win-win? ExxonMobil, let's deliver.
I was forgotten, and you reached out to me.
As Jesus says, whatever you do for the least of these, you do unto me. Support a child in his name through Compassion International at compassion.com/unto me.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fringe
Beyond Limits.
Hi, everyone.
Hola. Ciao.
Ciao.
Yeah. Ciao, yeah.
You're not Italian. You're not allowed to say that.
Allo?
You're not Hispanic. You're not allowed to say that.
That was like, she said allo. Allo.
Hello? Hello? All right, so...
How you doing?
Yeah, maybe what? Maybe what?
No, I said, how are you doing?
No, you said maybe what?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
I'm German, I can say that.
You are German. You're... we were allies.
I'm 49% German.
Mm.
Bang. Bam. Boom.
Nobody cares. Everybody hates Germany. I'm just joking. If you're in Germany and you're listening to this, you're the only ones in Germany I like. So
Yeah.
yeah. So how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sleepy.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're about to start an episode, so you can just do what you normally do and take a nap.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk to you guys after we're done.
Yeah. No, I would love to get your insights off air.
Off air.
All right. So what are we doing here? We do things that keep you up at night.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
sirree bub.
All right. Do you guys have something for this week?
Yes, sirree bub.
Is it gonna make me mad?
Yes, sirree bub.
I hate you. I really do. I gotta change the the code to my garage, so you can't get it anymore.
I'll just text Missy.
Yeah,
She'll tell me.
I'll tie her up. Well, actually, I already do. I'll just won't untie her next time.
Jeez.
All right, who wants to go first?
I guess I could go
Uh,
since you guys are both staring at me.
I
just want to see if you're gonna steal mine again. If we're I think we borrow the same brain sometimes.
Well, it makes sense because only one of you can think at a time. So maybe you do.
Oh, stop being a butthole.
Okay, sorry. Can I be a whole butt instead?
We may or may not have the same. Oh, Jeebus. I briefly read yours. I don't know.
Oh my god! All right, Bree, please go ahead and steal Lynette's.
Well, it might not be. I just saw one little word in there, so who knows?
What?
Anyways, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The only word you could read.
So I've always wondered how many times have I made, or even yourselves made a cameo appearance in someone else's dream, like a stranger's dream.
Okay.
Isn't it there's times when they always say the people in your dreams is someone that you've seen, even if it's just by passing.
Mm-hmm.
So how many times have you been in someone else's dream? It's kind of creepy when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a background person.
Right.
Yeah. Someone just thinking about you.
Like a what is it? A non-character person.
NPC, yeah.
Yeah. Non-player.
Yeah.
Character.
Non-character.
Yeah.
You're hurting my brain.
You're hurting my brain.
MSNBC.
Yeah.
Okay.
MSNBC. Yeah.
ABC.
Yeah.
As easy as 1, 2, 3.
I don't know the rest. I would have kept going. I don't
Simple
remember.
as do re mi.
Simple as do re mi.
Yeah.
A B C 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me.
Baby, you and me. All right. So how many times do you think you've been a cameo in somebody else's dream?
I don't. A lot, I would think.
Do you? Because you don't do much. Because
No.
you usually just stay home.
No, I don't.
Last night, you were home on the couch when I came over.
Yeah, yesterday was my lazy day.
At 7:30 on a Saturday night, you were home.
Yeah, and I was watching Deadly Sketch.
I know she was trying to say deadliest catch, but did it come out as deadliest catch?
Oh, I was just,
No.
I don't know.
Deadly Sketch.
All right.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I thought I heard diddliest catch, which is like,
You're like, ooh, I'll watch that.
I'm like, yeah, can I diddle or beat the diddler?
And you don't want to say that anymore.
What, diddle?
No, the diddler.
Oh, why? P. Diddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You don't want to be that.
That might be a future episode.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Probably will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you think a lot? You've been a cameo a lot?
I would think, like, I don't know what I consider a lot, though.
Yeah, like 4?
At least 5.
5.
Okay.
We'll say that.
That's a lot to you?
In your life?
No, but I'm going to say at least 5,
Okay.
but I don't think that's a lot.
All right. So you made 5 cameos. Do you get paid for that?
I wish. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Or wouldn't that be cool, like, if somehow, like, they knew that you were a cameo on someone's stream and you get paid for it and just automatically appears in your bank account?
Okay. So we're going to move on after that stupid comment.
You're the one who brought it up.
Yeah, I did. You're right. And every time I bring something up to you, I regret it every single time. All right.
Maybe you should think before you talk.
You're right. You're 100% correct. I'm not going to start, but I should.
Which was never going to happen, so you're always going to be disappointed.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Not only do I disappoint my wife, I disappoint myself.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I don't know why Bree and I always seem to have similar topics. We don't converse before these, but mine was similar to dreaming, is that when you dream about someone specific,
Mm-hmm.
could they be also dreaming of you? Like you're sharing the same dream?
Mm.
Or how many people have had dreams about you
Mm-hmm.
that you don't even know?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. When was the last time you dreamt of me?
I can't think of recently.
Okay, so we're not sharing dreams.
Okay. Jesus.
All right. No, those are actually not bad. I like those. I mean, they're similar. I don't know how you guys are so similar with your topics like the
Kinda
past, what,
creepy.
4 weeks? 4
It
weeks?
was like every week.
It's like
so
they like same type of topics
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
It's interesting.
almost the exact same thing.
So maybe we are sharing dreams. I was just a background person in hers,
Uh-huh.
and vice versa.
Was I a background dancer?
If that
Yeah,
makes
like-
you sleep at night.
No,
Like
it
in the
doesn't.
Beyonce single ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
the single ladies. Oh,
Yeah.
the single ladies. Yeah.
What about you? What was yours?
Mine is not similar to yours.
Because your brain's broken compared to ours.
Oh, extremely.
Yeah.
So what keeps me up at night is that the person that I think I am only exists in my mind. So everyone perceives you a little bit differently. So each person that you know or you've come across has a different version of you that lives in their head. And the person you think you are only exists to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of like freaks me out at times.
Do you find yourself wanting to prove your internal version to other people?
No, because I hate myself.
Stop.
No, not at all.
Are you concerned with other people's interpretation or opinion of you, though, then?
I wouldn't say concerned.
version?
Yeah, I wouldn't say concerned. I would, because I really don't care what most people think of me. But I would say I get frustrated with people's misinterpretation of me. So sometimes the words I use are misinterpreted one way when it's meant to be the other, which it happens to everybody. But so that's what I say more, I get frustrated with how
Yeah, so then wouldn't you want to change that
narrative.
narrative towards more what you consider a center?
I would,
Yeah.
but sometimes there's just no changing someone's opinion no matter what. I mean, I could say, no, that's not how I meant that. I
Yeah.
meant it like this. And they're like, no, I don't believe you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what keeps me up at night, is that the person I think I am only exists in my mind.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Mm-hmm. So only you know the real you.
Yeah, exactly. Or only you know who you think the real you is.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes you think what really is the real you.
Right. So do you think that's what they mean by you create your own reality?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were about to say your own reality show.
Well, yeah, that too, because I am my own reality show. I have an audience in my head. I have casting agents.
So you have people like clapping and like cheering at certain parts. Like,
yay!
Yeah.
Oh.
I have my own walking music, you know, like dun, 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 and I just, as I walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Love it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But, so today's episode, what are we talking about today, ladies? Do you guys know? Or are we just going to keep talking amongst ourselves?
The prophecy of the popes.
Ooh,
And
The poppies.
the pop stars?
Popes.
Popes. Like,
The Catholic Vatican
oh,
popes.
the Catholic Vatican popes.
Yeah.
So the papal prophecies and the last pope.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's near?
It is here.
Ooh.
When we dig into this.
Oh. All right, get your
Yeah.
shovel out.
Yeah.
Let's start digging.
Yep.
So the prophecy of the popes is an enigmatic and intriguing series of 112 cryptic Latin phrases, each purportedly predicting the lineage of Roman Catholic popes from Pope Celestine II in 1143 to the last pope, often referred to as Peter the Roman. Attributed to Saint Malachi, an Irish archbishop from the 12th century, this prophecy has fascinated and perplexed historians, theologians, and conspiracy theories for centuries. Despite its obscure origins and the debates surrounding its authenticity, the prophecy of the popes continues to be a subject of significant interest, offering insights into religious thought, historical interpretation, and cultural impact. So,
Have you heard of this before?
I have. I remember watching when Discovery Channel had decent documentaries. I think I watched a documentary about this.
Yeah.
And at the time, I want to say Pope John Paul II was still our Pope.
Yeah, I think
And
they had something in the 90s
yeah,
and early 2000s.
early 2000s. Yeah. So I think that's when I saw it. So, and it said at that time, like we were only like a few popes away.
There's only 3 left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
So,
2 left.
Yeah. So I was just like, God damn it. I'm going to.
When it comes to reducing carbon emissions, the heaviest industries face the toughest challenges. That's where we come in. ExxonMobil is investing in technology to help American industry lower its emissions, including in our own operations, all while empowering businesses and creating job opportunities. It turns out that fewer emissions can mean a stronger economy. ExxonMobil, let's deliver.
I'll never be able to be Pope.
Shoot.
You
You
know.
start your own church.
This is true. Well, I'm going to.
The Frankel Empire.
The Empire of the Franks.
Yeah.
I still call myself Catholic, even though I don't practice and I don't go to church, and I think it's silly. But since I consider myself still Catholic, I can still make fun of them. And the only person that can kick me out is the Pope. So until I get a letter from the Pope saying you've been excommunicated from Catholicism, I'm Catholic.
I'm going to laugh if you get a letter after today.
Oh, I'll get 3. That'd be awesome.
But, after this Pope's gone, you don't even have to worry about it anymore.
This is true. According to this prophecy, it's all going to be done. So the man behind the prophecy is Malmahed Amagoras, more commonly known as Saint Malachi. What we know about Saint Malachi comes from the series of picography, which are biographies of saints. Perhaps the most reliable of all the biographies was written by Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, who was a contemporary of Malachi. He wrote Life of Saint Malachi of Armagh. Malachi was born into a prominent noble family in Armagh, Ireland in 1094. Educated at the school of St. Paul in Armagh, which was attached to the monasteries there. He then traveled to Bangor Abbey, northeast of Belfast, which was known as the center of excellence in Ireland and Europe at the time, to further his studies. At the age of 25, Malachi was ordained to the priesthood. In 1124, Malachi journeyed to Bangor, was installed as abbot, and was made bishop by Kala in 1132. He was promoted to the primacy of Armagh, or the Archbishop of Armagh.
Mm-hmm.
As Archbishop, Malachi embarked on significant reforms to align the Irish Church more closely with Roman customs. This included introducing the Roman liturgy, reorganizing diocesan structures, and advocating for clerical celibacy. Oh, wait. So before this,
Yeah, because Ireland was still, even though it was under Roman Empire and the Catholic Church, they still followed a lot of pagan and Celtic traditions. So he was trying to essentially instill more of that traditional Catholic law.
So priests were allowed to fuck back then.
Yeah, they probably married and had kids.
Oh, see, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. All right. His efforts were met with opposition. Oh, damn straight. I mean, you're telling guys they can't have sex. I mean, for sure. In light of the resistance, Malachi decided he should seek guidance and counsel from the Vatican and the Pope himself to back his Reformation agenda. In 1139, Malachi made a 11-month, 1,600-mile pilgrimage to Rome, where he had an audience with the Pope. How hard do you think it was to get an audience with the Pope 1,000 years ago? Like, did you just have to show up?
It was probably a lot easier back then than it is now.
I'm going to say it's probably easier to get an audience with the Pope than it is to actually travel your ass there in the first place.
Probably.
I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah, like that. Like there was like
it's got to cross the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, there was woolly mammoths.
Yeah.
There was saber-toothed tigers.
Cyber-tooth?
Yeah, cyber. Yeah,
like Elon Musk cyber-tooth.
Yeah, where do you think he came from? And then there was T-Rexes I hear too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Velociraptors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a time period for me.
Yeah, no, you should have grown up back in the 1100s. Yeah.
Like saber-tooth tigers.
Dude, I once got cyber attacked by a saber-tooth tiger. Seriously, I turned my computer on and it goes,
Jesus.
It had teeth.
Tooth, you mean? Because he's a cyber tooth.
Yeah.
So one tooth?
Yeah, one tooth was a cyber part. The rest of them were normal. So this arduous journey to Rome was a significant event, not only in his life, but also in the history of the Irish Church. Whilst on this voyage, he had many stops along the way. One of those stops included respite at Clairvaux Abbey, where he befriended the abbot, Bernard of Clairvaux, Ossist, later venerated as Saint Bernard.
Not the dog.
Not the dog?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought the abbot of Bernard.
I think Saint Bernard's, and I always think about Beethoven, the movie.
I always think about the whiskey
especially
to carry around the neck.
The female in that one was named Missy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife is a bitch.
Yeah, so your wife was named after a dog.
Yeah, she's a bitch. All right. So that's good. So St. Bernard was an abbot, mystic, co-founder of the Knights Templar, and a major leader in the reform of the Benedictines through the nascent Cistercian order. St. Bernard would go on to write St. Malachi's biography. In fact, when St. Malachi died, it was in the arms of St. Bernard. Okay, that sounds gay.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
But that's weird.
Yeah, the more I dug into the story, I wonder how close their friendship really was.
Hey, God bless. I'm not going to shame. During this pilgrimage, he is spending time with the poor, infirm, and disenfranchised. He sees the perils of poverty and plagues. Once in Rome at the Vatican, he is overwhelmed with the immense opulence and regalia. The palace laden with silver, gold, and rare marble, the lavish lifestyle of the clergy, and how the wealthy leaders were embellishing themselves at a time when there was so much suffering in the world. 1,000 years later, exact same fucking thing.
So nothing has changed.
Right.
I said the same thing when I visited the Vatican. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes on to give Pope Innocent II the updates on the diocese and present his Reformation agenda, but later recounts that he still felt troubled in his spirit, maybe because he was gay.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's okay. Shortly after his audience with the Pope, Malachi reportedly experienced a prophetic vision. The vision consisted of a series of images and perplexing Latin phrases that Malachi interpreted as referring to future 112 popes. Each phrase was a concise and cryptic description that identified a list of future popes until the second coming. Malachi believed these phrases were divinely inspired and would serve as a guide for the church's future. Before leaving Rome to return home to Ireland, Malachi left this manuscript with Pope Innocent II, who purportedly placed it in the Vatican archives where it remained unnoticed for centuries. The manuscript would later become the Prophecy of the Popes. Once back in Ireland, Malachi implemented his changes, as well as introducing European-influenced architecture into Ireland's religious realm. It wasn't long before he devised another trip back to the Vatican. On his second voyage, he again stopped at Clairvaux Abbey, though this time he arrived very weak with a fever and exhausted. Bernard cared for him, but on November 2nd, 1148, at the age of 54, Malachi passed away quietly in the presence of his closest friend. St. Bernard captured Malachi's last words emblazoned on his burial plaque in Clairvaux Abbey. When Bernard himself was dying in 1153, he requested to be buried in the same grave as Malachi. Ooh, that's weird.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I have best friends, but I don't need to be buried in the same
Yeah, no, thank you.
No.
box, tomb, coffin, whatever.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's just weird. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I mean,
Sure.
I don't care what happens to my body when I'm gone.
But shouldn't you seek authorization prior? Yo, you're dying now. Can I join you when I go?
Yes.
He's squatting in his
Squatters' rights.
squatter's rights.
For several centuries, the prophecy remained obscure with no contemporary references or mentions in classical writings. This long period of obscurity has fueled skepticism about its authenticity, leading some scholars to suggest it may have been a later creation possibly intended to influence papal politics. The alleged placement of the manuscript in the Vatican archives also contributed to the mystery surrounding the prophecy. The Vatican archives are known for their vast and often inaccessible collections of documents, which has fueled numerous conspiracy theories about hidden knowledge and secrets within the Church. Malachi was canonized in 1190 by Pope Clement III, based on the many miracles attributed to Malachi during his life on earth. So in Ivrea, Italy, he cured his host's child. He exorcised 2 women in Coleraine and 1 in Lismore. In Ulster, a sick man was immediately cured by lying on the saint's bed. A sick baby was healed instantly in Leinster. In Saul, County Down, a woman whose madness drove her to tear her limbs with her teeth was cured when he laid hands on her. Ew.
Gross, right?
Yeah. At Antrim, a dying man recovered his speech on receiving the Holy Viaticum. I'm not sure I know what that is. Do you? All right.
Nope.
So
I looked it up and I thought I put a little cheat sheet note on there.
No, it's okay.
It's the last time a person receives the Eucharist.
Okay.
Before they die, so it's kind of your last rites.
Okay. A paralyzed boy was cured in Cashel and another near Munster. On an island where the fishermen were suffering for lack of fish, he knelt by the shore and prayed, and the fish returned. In addition to these, many other miracles occurred at Malachi's tomb. Malachi even predicted the date and details of his own death. He was asked where he wished to die, and when the Irish monk replied, at Clairvaux on the Day of the Dead, Malachi died on November 2nd. The feast of St. Malachi is observed on November 3rd, so as not to conflict the day with the Day of the Dead and All Souls Day. The prophecy of the popes was given to Pope Innocent II in 1139, but it wasn't published until 1595, 456 years later, by Arnold de Villon. De Villon. Was a Benedictine monk and historian whose work aimed to document the history of the Benedictine order. It has been said that during his time researching in the Vatican archives, he stumbled upon this manuscript and decided to add this information to his book publication, Lignum Vitae, The Tree of Life. It can still be found in the Library of Lyon. The prophecy consists of 112 short, somewhat ambiguous Latin phrases. Each phrase is believed to describe a pope either by personal characteristics, his papal coat of arms, birthplace, or other associations. Interpreting the phrases involving a combination of linguistic analysis, historical context, and symbolic interpretation, scholars and enthusiasts have proposed various methods of deciphering the meanings, drawing on a wide range of sources and analogies. For example, the first line says, ex castro Tiberis, from a castle on the Tiber. This befits number 1, Pope Celestine II, whose birthplace in Città di Castello, Tuscany, on the shores of the Tiber River. Some critics write the prophecy off because they claim that the descriptions are often just vague enough to fit multiple individuals. Many scholars argue that the prophecy's accuracy can be attributed to historical knowledge and hindsight, allowing for a retroactive fitting of the phrases of the Pope's lives and reigns, meaning early in the first third of the mottos are almost too perfect, from starting from 1, Pope Celestine II in 1143, to number 73, Pope Sixtus V in 1590. Most detractors argue that there is such an apparent one-to-one match for nearly 400 years for the first 73 popes, referring to the pope's place of birth, papal coat of arms, or social connections, that it cannot be prophecy. Almost as if someone in the 16th century was recording information from history books, but claiming it to be from the 12th century prophecy. God, I got tongue-tied there for a second.
It's because of all those Latin words and stuff. Yeah.
Like I feel as though like I'm exercising something when I read them. So one could argue that this document is both political and prophetic, but the timing of its release to the masses came across as strategic. We do know that this publication came out during a time of great upheaval and turmoil. The world was on the cusp of Protestant Reformation, the Council of Trent, the Counter-Reformation, all in all, a very difficult time for the papacy. Some scholars speculate that the Vatican itself could have written a prophecy or asked for it to be written to suit their agenda or as part of a socio-political strategy. A concern among some researchers revolves around a 1557 publication called Epitome Romanarium Pontificum, a brief history of sovereign pontiffs, by renowned Italian historian Onofrio Panvino, sometimes referred to by his Latin name Onofrio Panvinius. In this book, Panvino wrote a biographical record of each pope, and he had made some errors in his historical recounts. Interestingly enough, these are the same errors and references found in Vion's Lignum Vitae, which didn't come out until 38 years later. So, for example, in Panvino's book, he writes, Pope Eugene IV is said to have belonged to the Order of the Celestine, and the motto used in the Prophecy of the Popes lists the Celestine she-wolf. But Eugene was not a Celestine. He was of the Augustine order. Both Panvino's book and the motto used in the Prophecy of the Popes attributed to Pope John the 22nd as the cobbler of Ossa. And while this pope was from Ossa, contrary to many beliefs, he was not the son of a cobbler. He was the son of a banker. At school, when two students make the same exact mistakes, it is fair to conclude that they have copied from one another. And therefore, experts conclude that the author of the Prophecy of the Popes plagiarized from the book of Panvino, and thus proves that this prophecy was written after 1557 and just attributed to St. Malachi. So now it seems we might be able to agree this prophecy was not written in the 12th century, but rather the 16th century, more or less clearly identifying the 73 historical popes. So what about the remaining 39 popes that came after those two publications? The prophecies that came after 1595 also seem to be uncanny. One mystery of the one mystery of the prophecy of the popes is the phenomenon that the mottos appear to be increasingly accurate as time goes on, particularly in the last 150 years. So, what they're saying is, if I'm understanding, is that the first part of it looks like it was copied because it had the same mistakes as this other book that this person wrote, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But then afterwards, going forward into the future from this point, from the point that they say it was written, it was even more accurate.
Right.
So there was no mistakes, quote unquote,
Right.
or misunderstandings, misinterpretations.
The jumps or so the first half, the voice is pretty similar in the sense of we're focusing on the coat of arms, where they're from, and descriptions of the individuals, but after, so in the 16th century, they start talking more about social situations, war, depopulation, things of that nature. So it's not, the voice almost changes, but it's increasingly more accurate.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. So I grabbed a couple of, or at least the last dozen. So
yeah.
We don't have to go through them all, but
yeah, great. Yeah. Go through whatever ones you want to. Great.
So,
whichever ones you think were the most interesting.
Probably should have put some highlights on what I thought were the most interesting. But so I guess you could say, like with 111, the crux de cruce from cross, or the cross from a cross. So this one refers to Pope Pius IX. He had a few run-ins with the House of Savoy. Pius refused to recognize the new Italian kingdom, which he denounced as illegitimate, creating a revolution. So he was excommunicated, or he excommunicated the nation's leaders, including King Victor Emmanuel II, of whom denounced, what did I write here? So, forgetful of every religious principle, despising every right, trampling on every law. So basically he crossed the Cross family. So that was maybe a longer description than what was necessary.
No, it was good.
Was there a pun intended for that? Cross the Cross family?
Like, X marks the spot.
Maybe. I didn't think of it that way, but I was thinking like he crossed, like he pissed off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Made him angry. So
yeah.
Then 102 was Lumen in Caleo, a light in the sky. So this one is referring to Leo the 13th, and on his papal coat of arms, there's a depiction of a blazing shooting star in the upper right-hand corner, or left-hand corner, excuse me. And then we have, I missed 103. Oh, anyway, okay, I got 104 here. Something copy and pasted wrong. This one I found was really interesting. So this is Religio Depopulata, which means depopulated religion. This one corresponds to Benedict the 15th. So when Benedict the 15th was in office, if you will, it was during World War I. And in 1917 was the beginning of the Bolshevik Revolution, which is militant atheism, essentially, which brought about the end of religious life to many Christians across the country. They said that over 200 million people left the Catholic Church during this time. And that was just based on a decision to leave the church. This doesn't even take into account any fatalities of the war. So there was a significant decline in the church population. So I found that one was pretty fantastic.
Yeah. It's a good thing they had all that gold, to sustain them through this tough time.
Right. The building's still, yeah. Let's see. So then number 105 was Fides Intrepida, which means unshaken faith. That's referring to Pius the 11th. Essentially, there was impending global conflict going on right now, and Pope Pius the 11th made it his life mission to talk out against communism and fascism, and he intentionally made his beliefs clear that he was opposed to Hitler and Mussolini's treatment of people and their political beliefs, and used faith as his rock behind that. Then we move to 106, which was Pastor Angelicus, which means the angelic shepherd or the angel pope. This one I found was really interesting. So this one refers to Pius XII. Pius XII was one of the first popes that actually produced
Offspring?
media. No, he had a documentary
Oh, wow.
created that followed him around a day in the life of a pope, and it was titled The Angel Pope.
Oh,
So I thought that one was really interesting because if the church believes it or does not, he's kind of making a nod towards it, and he even mentioned Saint Malachi in this documentary that he created. So I thought that was quite interesting. Then we have 107, which is Pastor and Enetua, Pastor and Mariner. This one refers to Pope John the 23rd. So prior to his election, he was the Patriarch of Venice, so a marine city, and he was also part of the Navy, so he had a maritime background. So that was quite interesting. 108 was Flos Florum, which means flower of flowers. This is Pope Paul VI. So his coat of arms displays 3 fleur-de-lis, which is the French lily flower, on his crest, and his crest is in the shape of a fleur-de-lis, if you will. There did some research on this, so you can talk about the one that, who was that? Leo the 13th, where he had the shooting star on his, and, we have Pope Paul the 6th here. You could say, oh, well, maybe he just picked his coat of arms and it's just a coincidence. So doing some research, when you enter the bishopdom, you have to create your coat of arms then.
Oh.
And you spend 15 to 30 years in that role before you potentially move up to a cardinal. And then you spend another X amount of years as a cardinal before you could possibly be considered for the papacy.
Wow.
So
that's why they're always so old.
Right. I mean, technically anybody could be elected to pope once you're a bishop, but we haven't elected a pope who wasn't a cardinal, I think, for 400 something years. It's been a long time. There hasn't been somebody who jumped ranks that fast. But yeah, I mean, these people would really have to plan ahead to say, okay, do the math. I probably qualify to be a pope at this point. Hopefully, so-and-so, and then I get elected, so you can't change it once you're already in. But, this one was really interesting. This one is 109. This is De Medite Lunae, basically of the half moon. This one refers to Pope John Paul I. Pope John Paul I was only a pope for 33 days. He was born in Canale di Origado in the Diocese of Belluno, which means beautiful moon. He ascended to the papacy on August 26th on the day of the half moon. And again, he only lasted basically one lunar cycle because he died on September 28th, so of the half moon.
So he was made pope on the half moon, and then he died on the half moon.
Pretty darn close, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Only a few days later.
That's interesting.
This, see, again, as we keep moving down the line, they get more and more interesting. So 110 is De Labor Solis, which is the labor of the sun or the eclipse of the sun. This one refers to Pope John Paul II, who was in fact born on a partial solar eclipse, and he was buried on a rare hybrid solar eclipse on April 8th.
Wow.
Yeah, so that one was quite interesting. You can't predict someone born or buried on an eclipse, but...
No.
And then now we're moving into 111. We got 2 left, right?
Yeah.
So we have 111, which is Gloria Olivae, the glory of the olive. So this one is referring to Pope Benedict the 16th, who, when people were following this prophecy, they were like, okay, we're totally getting an Olivetan, that's the type of pope we're going to have, they're going to be a Benedictine, whatever. So they were kind of trying to forecast who in this conclave. Okay.
Enclave is a car. The Buick Enclave.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's not a Buick.
Yeah, that's not a Buick. That's a conclave.
So they were kind of looking one way, looking at Benedictines, because Benedictines their symbol is the olive branch. But when they elected Pope Benedict, he didn't fit that mold. So they're like, okay, this whole prophecies a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, 110 popes later, it's all
110
BS.
popes later, this is crap. The thing doesn't fit. But so interestingly, I had to look up. Pope Benedictine was part of they have a really long name. It's not like a Jesuit or Olivetan or anything.
Nazi.
Maybe.
Nazi.
I mean, that's a whole nother episode.
Okay, sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
But basically, his order was to make sure that there is no false records or fake records in
The archives?
the archives or just within the Catholic doctrine.
Okay.
So, but what I think is quite interesting is that he chose the name Benedict, which was referring to the Benedictine and of the Olivetan, and he was born on the feast day of Saint Benedict on April 16th, and he was Pope Benedict the 16th.
Well, that's fun.
So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's like I'm listening to a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. So now we got one left.
All right.
Boom.
Which one is this?
Our current Pope.
Who dat?
I have a magnet on my fridge that my friend Anthony bought for me when he was in Italy. And it's a picture of the current Pope. And it says, I heart, and it's Italian, Papa Francesco. So Papa is Pope, obviously, is not, Father Francesco. So it's up on my fridge. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it.
No, I haven't noticed.
Well, now that you go there, you'll never not see it.
Yeah, great.
So now your head just like grew like 3 times bigger than what it really is.
Which head?
The Beetlejuice head.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. The other one doesn't grow anymore. It's broken. But so now you guys are going to just constantly say that you guys love Papa Francesco.
Maybe.
So
Do we got to say it with the accent too?
I would.
Papa Francesco.
Okay. Pronounce it correctly.
Papa Francesco.
There we go. So now we've come to the inflection point, the 112th Pope. Unlike the preceding 111 lines, the 112th Pope comes with more than just a 2 to 3 word description. It comes with an omen in a final paragraph warning. The last paragraph in the prophecy of popes announces 3 things. The first is that the Pope will be called Petrus Romanus, or Peter the Roman. The second, that the church will undergo extreme persecution. And the third is that Rome will be destroyed, the apocalypse, the end of the papacy, and Judgment Day. The final paragraph states simply, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will nourish the sheep in many tribulations, and when these things are finished, the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the great and terrible judge will judge his people. The end. Pope Francis, our current Pope, would technically be the 112th Pope, the final Pope on this list.
Dun, dun, dun.
Can lighter structures really be stronger? Yes, they can. ExxonMobil is helping advance American industrial innovation with Proxima Systems, enabling a lighter and stronger alternative to traditional rebar while lowering greenhouse gas emissions to help build a more efficient construction industry with sustainability in mind. ExxonMobil, let's deliver.
The end.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
The prophecy culminates with a description of the final Pope, often referred to as Peter the Roman. This Pope is foretold to lead the church through great tribulations, culminating in the destruction of Rome and the Last Judgment. This apocalyptic vision has fueled numerous end-of-the-world theories and has been a focal point for eschatological discussions within the church. Some people believe that the prophecy of the popes is describing a man who, in one way or another, is going to give rise to the Antichrist. Dun, dun, dun. So, who do you guys think the Antichrist is?
You.
You're maybe onto something. Who do you think it is, Lynette? Me too?
No.
Hashtag
No.
me too?
I said Me Too movement.
No. I think there's a lot.
A lot.
Well, Legion. Yeah. There'll be a lot.
Mm.
I don't know if I believe it's a 1-to-1.
No?
Yeah. But maybe.
Yeah. So do you think that Rome, like the city, will be destroyed, or do you think it's more of a metaphor?
I would think a metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Just because that's the first thing that popped in my head.
Okay.
I'm being honest. Like, I mean,
that's fine. So
I can't picture it actually being destroyed unless there's like wars or whatever going on right now. I think it's more like a metaphor, like something internal or something's going to break it down. And
So what if Russia gets past the Ukraine and keeps going into Europe?
then I'll change my mind.
I hate her so much. I really hope your house gets bombed.
Oh,
Like,
can make sure that Cyclone's not in the
yeah,
house. though?
Cyclone will be at my house.
Okay.
You
As long
and-
as he's not in the house, I'm
You
okay
and,
with it.
you and Brian are going to be doing whatever you two lovebirds do.
Watching Deadliest Catch
Yeah.
while he's doing his PlayStation 5.
Jumping on the new purple mattress.
Yeah.
Or it's not a
Bumps.
purple.
No, it's not
I
purple.
like to call it purple.
In your head, it's purple.
It's purple.
With an upside down pineapple.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I like it. What about you, Miss Lynette?
Well, given the state of the world, I think I lean towards a blend of the two. I think there will be a social and religious breakdown. I think it's kind of like the end of an era, the end of a cycle. And I'm given the state of the world, like you said, with Russia and everything and all the war that's starting to bubble up, there
Mhm.
might be some physical destruction too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of lean that way too. I think it's like the end of the war, or not the war, the end of the era of Catholic or Christian reign. You know, we're exiting the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius.
I was just going to say that. So the next religion's going to be water.
Water bearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And when all the polar ice caps melt,
yeah,
we're just
we're going to be Kevin Costner in Waterworld. We're going to grow gills. And,
Maybe.
And swim around.
the new
We're going to
Atlantis.
become mermaids.
Well, people, there is a belief that God is water, because water cannot be destroyed. It just changes from gas to liquid
Changes
to
its
solid.
form.
And it holds memory.
And it holds my memories. 'Cause
That's
And
kind of creepy.
I pee in it.
Again,
Yes,
creepy.
you pee in the face of God.
Hey, I'm not going to kink shame. If that's what he wants. That's what he wants.
I don't think he has to be peed on.
No.
Or she. Or they, them.
Yeah. Which one is it?
Or it.
It's probably all of the above, right?
Yeah.
In all honesty, it's probably
That's
all the
everything. Yeah.
above. All right. So do you think like the last real Pope thing, do you think it's Papa Francesco? Which is actually kind of fitting that I would be the last Pope.
God damn it, you fucked this all up.
That's why I
did.
said that you're the Antichrist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, he brings in the Antichrist. So I can't be the Pope and bring in the Antichrist and be the Antichrist. That doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
You're bringing in yourself.
I do a lot of things myself. That's not one of them. All right. So do you really think it's going to be the end of the world, though? Like
No, I think it's the end of the world as we know it.
as we know it?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean?
Na, 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 na.
Well,
Okay, REM.
I mean, quite honestly, I'm looking forward to something fresh. I feel like every war no, I'm serious. Like every war that has ever existed has been over religious ideology. Or maybe he stole my cow. Like, I don't know. But
Yeah.
I think we're getting tired of it. And I think people are starting to see through some of the cracks and want something new and different. I don't know what that new and different is. It could
Yeah.
be worse. It could
Yeah.
be better. But
Yeah.
I think people are getting old. Sick of it.
Well, I think we're all getting old.
It's getting old.
It is getting old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Fair enough. So the church itself does not take an official stance on this manuscript. Perhaps at the very least, the Vatican recognizes this as a historical document. You can study it and make of it what you will, but the Vatican is certainly not expecting Francis to be the last pope. Either way, the church has chosen not to speak out on this text at all, but they were very quick to denounce and forbid Catholics from reading or watching such books and films as Dogma and the Da Vinci Code, amongst hundreds of others. Despite the Church's silence and official non-stance, many current and past popes and clergy are divided in this document's authenticity and validity. Some believe and others denounce it. However, there are two things we cannot turn a blind eye to. One, that the Church still chose to leverage this document when it worked to their favor. The mere fact that this document came to the masses during a time of great upheaval in the Church's history leaves room for interpretation. This manuscript conveniently showed up near the end of the Renaissance period, during the rise of the Protestant Reformation. The Catholic Church capitalized on the prophecy to show the Church's strength, resilience, endurance, and to be reassuring to the people and encourage obedience. Because at the time of the publication, St. Malachi's list still announced approximately 40 more popes still to come. 2. It is unclear whether the prophecy predicts the future of the Church or the Church is walking in the footsteps of the prophecy. Prime examples include several popes in the 17th and 18th centuries stamping and engraving their medals with their prophetic phrase. So, I think it's stupid when people... anything. I mean, our government does it, like ban the books. I mean, it's the stupidest thing. I don't like it. You know?
Control the media.
Yeah, I mean, just control, right? Yep. I don't like it at all.
Nope.
You know, because if you truly have faith, in my opinion, the best way to grow your faith is to constantly challenge it, and if you're overcoming that challenge, you're just growing stronger in said faith.
Right.
Yeah. So I just don't understand the silliness behind all that. Was the prophecy written by St. Malachi in the 12th century, or was it written by Onofrio Panbino or Arnold de Vaughan in the 16th century under the guise of St. Malachi? Before you jump to conclusions or make your final assessments, we have one more theory that scholars have been toying with that we wish to present to you. One theory concerning the prophecy of the Pope stands out. According to several specialists, the author would be a well-known prophet who lived during the 16th century. Since we know historical errors have transcribed from Pinvino's text, enter Michel de Nostradamus, a.k.a. Nostradamus. Ding, 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 ding. But what evidence is there to reach this speculation, you might ask? Nostradamus lived from 1503 to 1566. Arnold de Vaughan and Nostradamus lived at the same time and in the same place in the south of France.
Check.
Nostradamus was a teacher and would take a few students under his wing to teach them more than medicine, astrology, and philosophy. Some of these students were also trained in Nostradamus' spiritual practices, such as deep trance meditation, scrying, time viewing, and conjuring.
Check.
Could Arnold de Vaughan have been a student of Nostradamus? According to Dolores Cannon's trilogy, Conversations with Nostradamus, during one of her hypno-regressive therapy sessions, a client repeatedly channeled a man by the name of Dionysius, who in detail described his tutelage under Nostradamus. Could Dionysius have been a peer to Arnold de Vaughan, or possibly Dionysius himself?
Right. Also, Nostradamus had an 11-year-old son that...
Like, was he always 11? Like, he just stayed at 11?
He was 11 when Nostradamus passed.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he had a brief time with his father, but he had a son who also... There's another interesting document called The Lost Books, which was written, quote unquote, by Nostradamus, and it was called Nostradamus Vaticina, which is the Vatican prophecy.
Okay.
So it was just kind of interesting. So his son Caesar could be someone who might have played a part, or in some of the prophetic documentations, specifically the Nostradamus Vaticina, which leverages some of this prophetic information, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Nostradamus also had a secretary called Jean Auminier Chauvigny, something like that.
God bless you.
My French, God bless you. But yeah, there's a lot of people who are in his close circle. And if he was a good of a prophet, and this document came out in the 16th century.
But if I'm trying to remember, didn't his quatrains were found when someone broke into his tomb?
And it wasn't into his tomb. He had published, what was it, 9 of these, or 9 centuries, each 100 centuries per, what do they call it, decade?
Books?
Basically, if you want to think of it as book 1, 1 through 100, book 2, 1 through 100, that sort of thing. There were stuff that kept showing up later that they found like in the walls and stuff like that, but those were later believed or identified to be forgeries to make Nostradamus look like he was wrong. So, all
right.
But yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a future episode right there.
But if you're looking for someone who could have written something in the 16th century with increasing accuracy, that's an interesting theory to consider, because there was no one else that we know of in that time frame.
That's true.
That's done anything like that, or since, to be quite honest.
Yeah, wasn't there also the Black Plague going on then?
Possibly. I don't remember. There's a lot of plagues going on.
Yeah, there were a lot of plagues. Yeah, I think it just has to do with people just living in sin and just banging each other.
Maybe, yeah.
Chlamydia everywhere.
And fleas.
All right, so the identity and role of Peter the Roman have been widely debated. Some see this as a literal prediction, while others interpret it metaphorically. The prophecy's vagueness allows for a broad spectrum of interpretations, ranging from imminent apocalyptic scenarios to more symbolic readings about the church's future challenges. The prophecy of the popes remains a captivating historical enigma, whether viewed as a genuine divine revelation, a political power move, or a clever forgery. It offers a rich tapestry of historical, theological, and cultural insights. It serves as a reminder of the enduring power of prophecy and the complex interplay between faith, history, and human imagination. Its enduring appeal lies in its mystery and the human fascination with predicting the future, reflecting deep-seated hopes, fears, and the ever-evolving narrative of the Catholic Church. So, time to get off the fence. Bree, real or fake, and why?
A little part of me wants to go by fake just because I feel like a lot of it is coincidence. It's just hard for me to wrap my head around something that people predict that far in advance. Like, I don't have any real reasons to say no, but facts to say no. It's hard for me, like I said, it's hard for me to wrap my head around all this stuff. And just, to me, it's just a lot of coincidences and yeah.
So let me ask you this. You've seen me predict things.
Yeah.
And more times than not come true.
A lot of it is when you predict things, like you can get a good read on people, you get a good read on situations. So you're able to predict things from what you observe and everything. But can you predict something that's 500, 600, 900 years?
No, because I don't have that gift.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. This is really hard for me.
Right.
I can see like, okay, if this is someone predicting the next like 30 years, whatever. But like,
sure, but 500,
600 years, I can't.
But everyone has free will and can do and choose whatever they want whenever they want. So for me to predict something that has come true several more times than not, don't you think that might be something that is tapping into?
Because a lot of when I was reading the different like popes and what the different things that were going on, like, how do we not know that the church was purposely finding these people to fit these prophecies?
Do you know how a pope is elected?
Well, yeah, they vote.
Right.
Yeah.
So that means that for 500 years?
But if they already knew about all these different prophecies, they can be like, okay, well, this one kind of fits this. I'm just going to go ahead and do that.
Sure.
But do you think that they would want to do that? Like, what would make them want to do that?
Right, because there comes an
we don't know. Like, just like every government out there or whatever, they hide things.
They have a
They could
strategy.
have a completely different strategy. That like maybe this is what it's supposed to be. They could believe that this is what they want everything to happen.
Maybe.
So it's kind of like they brainwash to say like this is what's supposed to happen. So we're going to make sure it happens.
What if in the next few years we see hey, we found another extra pages?
Exactly.
Well, that'd be awesome.
Write it down.
Yeah. So
we had this idea
like,
now.
So how about
Like, oh, the Pope really doesn't end with Francis. The end was just a oops.
what if number 113 is the Antichrist?
Right?
Could be.
And
I mean,
then-
lucky number 13.
Yeah.
Unlucky number 13. It's got some people.
And or the end of the church is number 113, who would be a woman.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm okay with
That's
that.
what I'm saying. I'd love to see some sort of change or something new. It'd be cool.
The Antichrist is a woman.
There was there's a lot of like books out there where somebody actually went into like to the point of obsession, the numerology of it all. Like they were mapping it out in all sorts of equations, and every time, no matter which formula they did, whether they did it forwards, backwards, upside down, side, whatever, they still kept coming up with like the same repeating numbers over and over. So, it was-
All right.
but yeah, who knows?
All right. What about you?
But when we see 113, be like, oh man, that's
I know,
junk.
bastard. What about you, Miss Lynette?
I like to believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shocker, right?
I'm not shocked. That is not a curveball for this podcast.
No. But I mean, it's not just this document. There's a lot of other books. There's a lot of other, like, I know I threw in the Dolores Cannon. Like, she was able to get information through channeled meditation, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of folks in the spiritual communities who all seem to come back to this same time frame, just like 2012 with the end of the Mayan calendar. Like a lot of mathematical equations said there was some sort of change, something that happened. We might not be able to pick up on it specifically, but there was an end of some sort of era, end of some sort of change, and the beginning of a new. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. All right. I lean towards yes. So if I had to get off the fence like I made you guys do, I would say yes. I would kind of, because I don't believe in coincidences. Like,
Neither.
like it's just, and how many coincidences can happen before it's a trend?
Right.
You
Usually
know?
3 is a trend.
Yeah.
So you have 111 trends.
Right.
112 trends.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where I go to. I would say that there is some sort of truth. What that truth is and what the meaning is behind it, not a fucking clue. But I definitely think that, and and I think we can all kind of feel it, like something's coming.
Right.
Like there's a change upon us, like whatever that may be. But there's just something coming, and it's not me, and that makes me sad. So.
Oh.
Anyway. Well, anything else you guys want to add to this?
Nope.
No, I think this is good.
No? All right. Well, this was the Prophecy of the Popes. Thank you for listening. This is Frank.
This is Bree.
And this is Lynette.
And you've been listening to Fringe
Beyond
Limits.
What if we could reduce carbon emissions and strengthen the economy? At ExxonMobil, we believe both are possible. As a global leader in carbon capture and storage, we're empowering industries to reduce their emissions, all through technologies that are creating job opportunities in America. How's that for a win-win? ExxonMobil. Let's deliver.